And we're the Twinchesters.
And this is our Doctor Who review for Season 9, Episode 7, which was called the Zygon Invasion, which, by the title, it says Zygon Invasion.
Yeah, that's pretty self-explanatory.
It's the only one that actually makes sense so far.
I know. So it starts off with a little follow-up to the 50th anniversary episode where it's 10, 11, and the War Doctor trying to stop the Zygon invasion.
Yeah. It's kind of like a background to what happens in this episode with...
Yes.
And you get more information about what happened after that treaty was passed. The episode starts off with both Osgoods, which you're like, oh, okay, so that's how she's still alive.
Yes.
Because one Osgood died, but not both Osgoods died. They're both talking about the like what happened after the treaty from the 50th anniversary episode. How there's 20 million Zygons, like peacefully living among the humans as humans.
Yes. But as in every story of peace, there has to be that one little sect of individuals who decides they're going to rebel.
Yes, which Osgood called the nightmare situation. Like, they have this special box that's for when that happens.
Right, it's basically just like an emergency protocol thing.
Yeah.
And Osgood gets kidnapped by the Zygons, but right as she's getting kidnapped, she's able to send a message to the Doctor to get him to come help
UNIT save her and the world.
Yes.
So there's just a rebel group of Zygons. Not all the Zygons are.
No, it's not everybody.
Because the Doctor goes to talk to the commanding Zygons, which are 2 7-year-old twin girls, and they're like, oh, we got this handled. They're our business, and the Doctor's like, no, you have no control over them. They're kidnapped. They're like destroying people right now. So then they all he gets together with UNIT pretty much, and they all just separate. He gets together, they separate.
It's all split up, because that's always a good idea.
So the head of UNIT, the Brigadier's daughter, goes to Truth or Consequences, which is a little town in New Mexico. Yes. Is that an actual town in New Mexico?
I really don't know. We should look that up. I'm not sure, because I was really confused when Clara was like, oh, it's a town in New Mexico. I'm like, what?
I feel like that's been mentioned in another Doctor Who episode, or another something.
No, the only time...
Because they wind up in New Mexico with Matt Smith?
No.
Or is that Texas?
That's oh my gosh, I just watched this. That's Utah?
Oh, okay.
Like Silencio.
Oh, okay. Anyway.
Yeah, that's Utah. The only time they're in the States is Utah, New York, and now New Mexico.
But so she's in New Mexico, and the Doctor decides to take the President of the World plane.
Because he loves to pop about in a plane.
Because he's the President of the World, apparently. Yeah. He's the Middle East somewhere. They don't exactly say where he goes.
No.
And then he leaves Clara in London.
Not smart.
Which winds up being bad. But backtracking to the UNIT lady in New Mexico, she's the only person in the town besides this one other person.
The sheriff.
And you think that it's suspicious at first, you don't really think about it, and then all of a sudden, you start to think about it. You're like, this is suspicious. It's like, when the sheriff first showed up, I didn't think anything of it. I was like, okay, she's the sheriff. She's obviously going to be the last person to survive in this town.
Right, but it's weird because she kept emphasizing the fact that she was the only person in town.
As the episode goes on, you start to realize that it's odd that she's the last person left in town.
And she's a pretty, well-kept final standing person. Like, you would think that she, just having gone through a big battle with an alien race, she'd be a little disheveled. Yeah. But no, she was So
it turns out this lady is a Zygon.
Yes.
And immobilizes the UNIT lady and becomes the UNIT lady, which I forgot that Zygons could, turn into other people. As long as they have the person alive.
Right, they can only, change shape as long as the person remains alive. Which brings us to Clara.
Yes.
Because in the beginning of the episode, not the beginning, but, earlier in the episode, when we're figuring out where Clara is when all this starts, she comes across a little boy that says he can't find his mom and dad. So she goes to help him, and then you meet the parents, and they're like, oh, no, we got this. We're under control. They are obviously Zygons and not human. You could just totally tell.
Yeah.
And then it just turns to Clara being like, okay. And then she leaves. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, Clara's a teacher. She dedicates her life work to helping children. I can't just imagine her just be like, okay, you're kidnapping this child. I'm gonna go about my business.
At first I thought it was weird, but then I kind of forgot all about it because like she meets up with the doctor and it kind of just gets pushed to the background.
It just goes from there. But in the back of my mind, I was like, that is really weird. But lo and behold, she becomes Zygon.
Well, you find out because her and the girl she like stays in London with.
She's like the second in command of unit.
I
think her name's like Jackie or something like that.
They find out that the escalator in a lot of different buildings, especially in Clara's building, leads to like an underground set of tunnels that the Zygons have been using to get around. So they bring the entire, bit of unit down there because they find these pods, which they originally think are baby Zygons, like they're growing Zygons.
Right, and then Jackie realizes that that's not how it works.
That's not how Zygons work. They take people's identities, which means they have to keep those people alive. And you find this out because Clara opens up one of them and it's Clara.
Yep.
And so Jackie's like, oh no, this isn't right. That means you're not Clara, and Clara's not Clara.
No. So Zygon Clara is taking over unit.
She took over unit.
Yeah, she pretty much takes over unit. And then they're about to like blow up the plane that the doctor's on, and right before the missile hits the plane, she's like, oh, by the way, Clara's dead. Just so you know.
Well, the doctor goes to Middle East in the plane, finds Osgood.
He rescues Osgood.
But on top of that, the Zygons do something really interesting. They know intel about these people that are in unit, and they're using their loved ones to prevent them from killing them.
Right.
Like they use and like earlier on in the episode, they were gonna bomb the Middle Eastern city, and the bomber has like a visual of the town. She sees her husband and her son, and she couldn't do it. And then later on in the episode, while they're in the Middle East, the main shooter guy that was like outside the building is like, put your weapons down, keep your hands up. His mother walks out, and he knows it's not his mother. But, the more this Zygon is talking, and then the rest of, like, the unit's family members start coming out, and I think that's really interesting. The Zygon are that in tune now with the human race. They know how to defeat the human race.
They know they're the weak, they know where to hit, for, like, the weakest points. Because basically, I mean, I don't know if I could, like, shoot a family member even if I knew that they were an alien, because you would still feel like that sense of guilt, even though your actual human relative is standing right there. You're like, oh my gosh.
The Zygons learned a lot about the human race while being the human race in that year or so.
And now they were living against.
Yeah. So that group of unit gets killed, except for the commander that's with the doctor, and she tells him that they're going to bomb the entire place because the Zygons are getting away.
Right.
And the doctor finds Osgood while the bombing's happening.
Yeah, the commander tells him that he's got 10 minutes to find Osgood. And then basically the second he turns around and walks away, they start bombing everything.
Yeah. So while they're in the plane, I liked how the conversation the doctor and Osgood had about the question marks on her shirt. And he was like, oh, I see you accessorize. She goes, oh, you wore question marks at one time. And he goes, oh, I still do. And she looks at him and he goes, I wear question mark underwear. I was like, that's kind of cute. Like, he's acknowledging the fact that, she is giving him an homage to his old faces.
Yes.
Because in, like earlier in the episode, she's wearing, like, a bow tie. She has the fourth Doctor's scarf. And then she has the question mark. I think of the third or fifth Doctor. I really don't remember which one.
I'm not sure about that.
I gotta watch all that. Yes. But then while they're on the plane, he gets the call from Clara, the Zygon Clara. And backtrack. They have a Zygon on the plane.
Yes, they're able to kidnap the bombing helped them kidnap a Zygon.
So because the doctor doesn't want to kill anybody. He of course wants to.
Right. He's trying to get answers.
Yeah, he's trying to get answers to why they're doing this and how they can stop them from doing this. And that Zygon says this plane isn't going to make its destination. And that's when Zygon Clara calls, whose name is Bonnie, which is kind of like a fun little homage to Bonnie and Clyde.
Yes. Okay.
And she calls, and the doctor, thinks it's Clara and all that. He's like, you got to get to the TARDIS. He said, this plane's going down, and you see the Clara pull out this giant rocket launcher. It's awesome. She just pulls out this giant thing. And she's like, oh, by the way, Clara's dead, so are you. Bye. And then to be continued.
Because every episode this season has to be
I don't understand.
Continued.
Because they've only, in past seasons, Moffat doesn't doesn't do a lot of 2-part episodes. He'll do like 3 a season tops.
I know. I don't know if this is just their way of trying to keep viewers.
I don't know.
But I feel like it's kind of backfired because I'm bored because I'm like, this story, I don't know, it's not
this episode is a good 2-part episode.
Yeah, but like 2-part episodes are used to keep viewers interested. Like they're a one-time thing. Like, oh my gosh, cliffhanger. But every single new set of episodes being a cliffhanger doesn't make it all that exciting anymore.
The first 2 episodes, I didn't understand why it was a 2-parter.
No.
The one with the underground and the ghosts, I thought that was a good 2-parter.
Yeah, but that kind of could have.
That could have been 1 episode.
They could have condensed it.
But I think I just like that arc. And technically, the one with Ashildr wasn't technically a 2-part episode.
It was, but it wasn't.
Yeah, it just encompassed one character.
It was a continuation. It wasn't a continuation of that story. It was just a continuation for that character. So, it was, but it wasn't, but it was just normally they introduce a character, and if they're going to keep them throughout the season, they're every other episode, or every 2-3 episodes, they're not 2 episodes in a row, and then...
Or also they give them an arc, like when Jack was on the TARDIS for 4 episodes.
Yeah, or they give them just an arc, right there in the middle of the season, and then that's it, so...
But I'm curious on how the Doctor's going to get out.
I kind of feel like...
Because, there's a missile.
Oh, he's
going to the plane.
He's going
to get out. How?
What's the Doctor?
I know, but, it's just, it's crazy.
Crazy thing.
And what is that, it's interesting how, again, Clara is being used against the Doctor as, a villain-type-esque thing. I feel like her, more than the rest of the companions, have been used against the Doctor as a villain. Not as, a ploy. Not as a ploy. 'Cause a lot of them have been used, as victims or dangled across, save your girlfriend, or whatever.
Yeah.
This one, they've been using her as, a weapon against the Doctor, as, a villain.
Well, they're getting smarter. The alien races are getting smarter, that they know, after 2,000 years, that
the best weapon against the Doctor.
Surefire way to get the Doctor angry or involved is to kidnap the companion or somehow manipulate the companion.
And the best weapon against the Doctor is the companion.
Right, because
they stopped using her as a kidnapping ploy. They started using them as weapons against the Doctor.
Yeah. So, and it's interesting to see if this is going to play into Jenna's leaving, because she wasn't in last week's episode until the last 30 seconds of the episode.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, are they just slowly gonna phase her out? What's gonna happen? Because all these episodes have not really been loaded with Clara. She's been there, but she's kind of just been in the background a little bit.
We'll have to see, because I'm assuming she's going to be the rest of the season. The last episode of the season is going to be Clara's ending.
I think that so
Jenna's we still have an entire season.
Not really. We're halfway through it.
Oh, well, we still have the next half of the season to figure out what's going on with that.
So we'll see.
All right, guys, we would love to know what you guys thought about the episode in the comments down below. And send this to all your Doctor Who friends. You guys have a great discussion about the episodes and what you guys thought. And don't
share the love.
Yes, and don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you guys later. Bye.